Hello there, once again, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to explore the code commit of AWS. Alright, so code commit. Let's start. Let's create a repository. Then we're going to name this Coder Infantry. Alright, just name this Coder Infantry. Enable Amazon Code Guru Review for Java. She's got it. Baby, she's got it. So how much does it cost for a to have a code commit cost? Out of Vegas, I'm the fire. Request for pricing. Is there any pricing calculator here? Per gigabyte. Yeah. So it's cheap. But we won't. Oh, we won't have a very big code repository also, so that's fine. So we got the repository created already. See, alright, so what's next? We can create file. How do we pull this? View, get downloads, code commit. I'll learn how to create and configure an IAM user, learn how to add teams. CLI credential helper, create a file. How do we pull clone this? Yeah, clone via HTTP, right? Copied, then we will clone this here. Get clone, like that. Username for, so we need to get our get credentials. Where is our, yeah, this one. Set up your connection to AWS Code Commit repositories using the credential helper included in the, this is the only connection method for AWS Code Commit. What that does not require, and I am so additional how to do that. Where is that credential helper? For users using credentials. Sign up, create an IAM user, console. Alright, so let's go to the user in our root folder. We're going to give let's read users. You want to configure for code commit. Yeah, we want to configure our user to code commit. And grant permissions. Choose attach existing policy from the list of policies. Select code commit power user. AWS code commit power user. Okay, so let's find our IAM user. Let's go to IAM. Go to users. Go to the user that we want to update. Security credentials. Where is it? So grant. Is that? Oh, the permissions tab. Is there a permissions tab? No. Yeah, in the permissions tab, choose add permission. Add and add permissions. Hey, where is it? Go here, then add permissions. Then next. It doesn't belong to a group. Attach policy directly. Yep. From the list of policies, select AWS code commit. AWS code commit. Power user. Right. Select next. After you have created the policy you want to choose the next preview and review the list of policies and attach to the IAM user. If the list is correct, choose add permission. For more information, yeah, install, create get credentials for HTTP. Sign in, make sure to sign in as the IAM user who will create and use the get credentials for the connections code commit in the IAM console innovation pane. Choose version and open the users. Right. So I am using this is the IAM user that we want to use. Go to IAM user. Then go to the users and choose the IAM user, which is this is me. And then choose the security credentials and NHP get credentials for AWS code commit generate. Okay, so this is the one to generate. I will pause the video now. Right, so we generated the get credentials, copy the username and password. Then so connect to CodeCommit clone deploy repository. Okay, so let's connect. Hold on, let me pause again. Right, so we are now authenticated. We have it cloned for CodeCommit. CD coder infantry. All right. So this one here, the coder infantry, is the one for CodeCommit. This one we are using for the Azure DevOps. So let's open this, and then let's start creating the application. Ng new coder infantry code commit. Right. So this is going to generate an Angular for us. So, because Angular is our way of life. This is this is the people. God created the people to build the Angular project for free, so that so that me can have um, a tool that I can use as a tool to feed my family. Damn, that's so deep. Right, so let's wait for this to finish. And while we're at it, let us draw some things. Alright, so it got completed. And then let's go to the coder infantry. Then let's move all one directory higher recursively. Or is it recursive or no need for recursive? I think no need for recursive, right? Yep, no need. ls r rmrf the code inventory code commit to the folder. Then there you go. Then we need to set up the dot get ignore, and then we're going to node ignore this node modules, and then we're also going to ignore the get angular, and what else? So that's it. We're then going to um, just update this. Okay, see if we can do a complete CI/CD pipeline from here. All right, then hello AWS CI/CD or cheap CI/CD, right? And then let us commit that. Hello. Then let's push that. Hopefully this will not. Nah. I'll pause again. Right. So our code was pushed. So next time we need to find a way how to avoid keep on putting our username and password in our every time we commit. So okay. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. Na, 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 na. All right, so we got our project here, code, our repository, code commit, coder infantry, and we want to. How do we push this to like build this using what is the equivalent of Azure pipelines with code commit? So I think there's an up up build or up spec. Yeah, I think it's up spec. Hello world. AWS code pipeline. So I will find some water to drink and then I'll be back. Okay. All right, we're back. So let's do some tutorials. Create a pipeline that uses CodeBuild. Using CodePipeline with OpsWorks continuous delivery with um, CodeBuild. Um, yeah, so where do we start? Code artifact, code build. So get started, code build. Okay, so it's different. So there, how about we go straight to code pipelines? So pipelines, create a pipeline. So pipeline name is JX pipeline, right? And a new service rule. This is the name of the rule. Yeah, we're just going to use allow AWS code pipeline to create a service rule so it can be used with this new pipeline. Default AWS managed keys, default location, create a default S3 bucket in your account. Okay, so that is for the artifacts. So the source is from AWS CodeCommit, which we've just created early in the video, and then the repository name is Coder Infantry, and then we'll use the master change detection CloudWatch events recommended. Use CloudWatch events to automatically start my pipeline. Yeah, and output artifact code pipeline default. All right, so the builder, AWS CodeBuild, and project name is we don't have a project. So, all right, so lesson learned that we need to do the code build first. All right, so there's a create project here. I think this will be a quick one. Um, yeah, we can go straight to code pipeline after code commit. Continue to code pipeline. Create a new code build project and return to code pipeline to finish configure. Right, so this will be JX code build. Then restrict number of concurrent environment, manage image, operating system, Linux, runtime, standard, image. Enable this flag if you want to build Docker images or want your builds to get elevated privileges. New service. Do I have to choose, or can you just provide me with your default uh, image? I might incur um, what's this? This seems like this one is the lowest one. So um, always use the latest image for this runtime version. Right? Use a build spec, store build specs in YAML, build spec name. Um, by default, code build looks for a file name buildspec.yaml in the source. If your build spec and file uses a different name or location, uh, yeah, build spec. Do I have to create it, or can you create it for me? Yeah. Batch configuration, code watch group name S3. All right, let's create it. Alright, so we got our code build created. Environment variables, we don't set it up for now. Deploy provider, what's this? CodeDeploy, and we don't have a CodeDeploy yet, right? Choose how to deploy your instances, choose the provider, application name, we don't have. Choose an application that you have already created in AWS CodeDeploy console or create a new application. Next, what's this? You must select. I don't have, man. Choose an application that you have already created in the AWS CodeDeploy console or create an application in the AWS CodeDeploy console and then return to this task. Okay, let's go to CodeDeploy. CodeDeploy. Uh, what's this? Stay on this page. Duplicate. CodeDeploy. Yeah, leave this page. Or, yeah, automated code deployments. Ding, 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 ding. Right, for the code deploy, we don't have a deployment here. Let's go to code deploy, create an application. JX code deploy and choose the platform ECS. Yeah, we can choose a ECS and then create an application. Okay, so we got our JX code deploy. So can we search for that? In order to create a new deployment, you must first create a deployment group. All right, so let's create a deployment group. Deployment group. Banging on, all right, so we got deployment group JX deploy code deploy deployment group. Enter a service rule. Enter a service rule that with CodeDeploy permissions that grants AWS CodeDeploy access to your target instance. Why you don't have to create this for me, man? It's so hard, man. Why so many? Enter a service rule with CodeDeploy permissions. What is a service rule? Where do I get this? Service rule. Service rule. Yeah, seems like it's a bit complicated compared to an Azure. Pipelines. Yeah. Rules. Go to rules. Leave this page. This is an IAM rule. I want to create a service rule. Can I create a service rule? Yeah, AWS service rule. This should be the service rule. Use case code deploy. Okay, this one. Code deploy. Where's the name? Okay, then next is JX code deploy service rule. Okay, I created this service rule. Then create the rule. Now we've created the rule. You then, after it's created, you then put that there in your service rule. Right, so that one is created. Let's put this one here. And then choose an ECS cluster. We haven't created the ECS cluster. So this is useful because yeah, we want to be able to deploy to ECS also using Azure DevOps. For now, let's just focus on this one. So this one is focus on AWS CodePipeline. So this is a JX cluster. We've done this a million times already in the past 3 days. Okay, we now have a cluster. So what do we have? It's still creating. Right, so we got the cluster. Can't you find it? JX. Services. Hey, can't you find my JX cluster? Okay, or maybe let's just put that in there. Nope. Let's refresh. Can we refresh? JX deployment group. Then service is this one. ECS, yeah, ECS cluster is this one. We don't have a service yet. Let's create a task definition. Create a new task definition. The task definition is code infantry task def fargate. This is the rule that we want. Damn, we haven't. Damn, we haven't created anything yet. Oh, oh. Can we leave this for now, or we really need to have this? Alright, so maybe. Oh man, it's just so. Okay, so let's dockerize this. Oh man, so complicated, man. I have to create a Docker file for this one. Okay, so let's just complete this. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy, G. Alright, so let's go here. We have already have a lot of sample of this one here. Go to ECS web, then there's a Docker file here that we can use. Alright, so go to our, where is it? Okay, so let's paste that there, and then we're going to Name this Coder Infantry, and then we'll also do the Docker build, all these commands here. Put that here in our README, and then our ECS here is now going to be Coder Infantry. Right, so let's create a. Do we have a script to create the repository already? Do we have here? No, 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 no. Create a repository. Build and push. There should be a create repository that we created earlier, right? Where is it? Should be an ECS. ECS JX. Does it have the create repo? Yeah, this one here is the create repo. Okay, so we're going to create that. ECS JX ECR PowerShell create repo. So it's going to create a repo. So the repo succeeded, and then build and push. We're going to apply that here. Hit it here. Let's also copy our create repo and put that in here. ECR. Yeah, we've already created. So the JX ECR here will be replaced with. Oh no, not that one. Yeah, we should have created a different one. We should have created a Coder Infantry. Yeah, Coder Infantry. Okay, so let's create this. Let's put this on a create repo.ps1, and then yeah, PowerShell create repo ps1, then build push.ps1. This is our build and push. All right. So PowerShell build and push. But let's check if we've already created our repo. Go to ECR. Right, so let's check our repositories. We should have the we don't have the. Alright, what's this? No latest. Yeah. Oh, let's try. Did we get any error on the create repo? It succeeded. Parsing catalog unable to load. Ah, yeah. We need that. We need that. So where is it? So this one here for our like the description of our repo, and let's paste that in there. Right. So let's do this again. Create the repo. Right. So it now created the repo. And next we want to do is damn. Coded infantry. Next is PowerShell. Build and push. So it will build. It will push. What's the problem? Damn, Nginx config is not found. Right. Where's our Nginx config? Yeah, this one here. We need to put that here in our coder infantry, and then we need to update anything here. No, we don't need to. Right, so let's do this again. PowerShell build push. Back to you after all the time this night. To hide. Turn the still from afar. After all we've been through, how's ever me and you? Forever you and me after all. Get it on, bang it on, get on it, bang on, get on. Get it on, bang on, get on. So this is I am not sure if there's a proper way to do it, but in Azure DevOps it's just straightforward. We don't have to build and do anything first initially before we create the pipeline. Like we can just do the pipeline without the without pushing anything and build. Oh, let me think. Yeah, I think I didn't really. Maybe I didn't really fully understand. I haven't really implemented a full-blown CI/CD pipeline with ECS also using the Azure um, pipeline. So yeah, I might be wrong. Okay, so no such image coder infantry latest. Why? What is our command here? Coder infantry latest. Mm, um, in our build, right? Why? Oh, we tag that. What's wrong with him? Image doesn't exist locally, but the tag uh, does not does not exist locally with the tag. But we specify that we should tag this like this. Mm, okay, so the Docker file here, it didn't run. Oh, what? It's correct, right? Coder infantry. Hmm. Nginx config. Right, it's going to push here, build coder infantry, and updist. Maybe because of this. Can we remove that? Yeah, I think that's the one that's causing the issue. Alright, so let's rebuild. We are now 42 minutes. So suddenly. What's the issue here again? Updest coder infantry. What? It's going to put an app and then it's going to ng run build. Let's try. Let's ng serve. Is there any error with this? Loading back to you after all the darkest night. Alright, it's running. If we localhost that one, it should uh, appear there. Let's see what else is the issue. Let's try to build them like individually. Dam, 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 Okay, so copy error. Copy from build up dest folder inventory. Search here. Where is that? Here, copy from build. Why is this getting error? ECS web. So here, isn't it coder infantry? Is there any dest folder here? Or can we check the Angular .json here? What's the okay? So what's the output? With the code commit. Okay, so let's go to our Docker file. Like that. Okay, sorry, so sorry. And let's just do this one straight. Forever you and me. After all, after all. Sure, see, it fixed it. And we are now 47 minutes lost in our life. All right. All right, let's pause this and let's meet up. Let's meet up after this push successfully. Right, kids. So it's almost there. So just check here, making sure that we will not get logged out. Just keep on using. Hopefully this will not log out. Nah. Yeah, okay, so we're back again. Then we'll go to close all of this. Damn, all the hard work there. Leave or stay on this page. Reload. Is that damn. So where are we now in our pipeline? So we are going to start from scratch. Damn, how many pipelines do we have here? No, right? Nothing yet? Yeah, we have to start from scratch. So let's just wait for this to complete so that we can create. I'm not sure why, but I think it's really needed. Maybe we'll understand when we will try to implement this in Azure DevOps soon. So just stay there. We're already 50 minutes in this video. Damn. All right. After one. Was it? Langgap pa hugas itong kuan ng gabi? Grapes. Grapes. Langga lami ito? Kani? Ndot. Kinahan ka? Jig 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 jig. Jig 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 jig. Alright, it's done pushing. Alright, it's push. So now let's continue with our no. We have to create first the service. Let's go to our cluster first. We don't need no false. Oh. So we could have just created the image without. Damn, we should. Yeah, I made a mistake. It's okay to just create the repo and we can put the URI there without the image. We don't have to. Damn, sorry guys. All right, so in the cluster, we're going to first go and create a task definition. Yeah, yeah, I shouldn't have uploaded it yet. Um, we can create this one task def JX or maybe coder infantry task def. Okay, coder infantry task def. This one here. Then let's save this somewhere like that. Task def. Then here is coder infantry, and the image is go to the repositories. And then then this is the image URI, so we're going to put that in there. That is the name, coder infantry. Well, we won't put any environment variables for now, and volumes. Usually this volumes here the best. Uh, if you want your instances to be able to save in one instance, single instance, we can like multiple instances accessing one volume, it's recommended to use um, EFS. Okay, so here let's create the test diff is this one. The test diff service name is coder infantry service, and then we won't put any load balancer for now, or we can. Okay, so let's just create a load balancer ELB, and then the target group is TG. Right, so let's create that. Yeah, we could have just yeah, we will not delete this, and we'll try to remove the uploaded image in our repo if we can, like upload it or deploy with with a fresh um, artifact or product from or output from code pipeline. It's creating the service. Right, so let's pause this for now and let's meet later. All right, so we got created. Let's go and test our service. Let us go to the network, and then let's launch the site. Then there you go. And now we want to do this completely automatically. So we'll do a but first let's check. Is this a master, right? This is the master coding infantry. Yep. Let us get pull or no, no. Yeah, let's get pull if there's any updates in our coding infantry code commit. Oh, nope, we don't have any changes. Um, so let us do here first. Coder infantry pipeline. Okay, so this is the service rule. Go to advanced settings. So go the default provider is the code commit, and then alright, the repository is coder infantry. Branch will be master. Next, provider is CodeBuild. Then the project is JX CodeDeploy. This should have been a coder infantry code build, but skip build stage. Or yeah, we can skip build stage. No, we won't skip build stage. All right, so code deploy. And then we already have set up our ECS. Application name is this one, JX CodeDeploy. This should have been coder, infantry coder CodeDeploy, but let's just do that. Application name, deployment group. We don't have a deployment group. Alright, so let's go to our code deploy. Code deploy, deployments, application. This is our code deploy. This will require a deployment group. Alright, so the deployment group, enter the deployment group. Coder infantry deployment group service is this service. The JX cluster, ECS service, coder infantry service, infantry LB, this one, target group name, what's that? We don't need a target group. Is it required? Right, create deployment group, create deployment group. What is this, man? Alright, so that one, yeah, that one. Right, so let's create. Could not load ECS service information for because not authorized to perform. STS just deployment service rule. So we want to go to the service rule and we want to add ECS privileges. So let's go to our root and go to our root and then go to IAM, then go to rules and then find JX deployment rule service. How can we find this? The JX deployment group. JX code deploy. Code deploy. Nope. Okay, so we want to. How do we find this? So let's go to this one here and let's go to rules. Go to IAM. It's not visible in the root account. So how do we find this? JX service. Rules. Code deploy. Yeah, it's available in code deploy here, but it's not in the root. So if I type here in the root JX, so it's not here. All right, so let's add some permissions. We want to add the error here. The what's that? ECS describe services. So let's go here, code deploy. Let's go to attach inline policy. So ECS, this one, and then container. This one is describe services, so it might be the read. Describe services. It's here. And what else is asking for? Is describe services. Okay, so we want the guy to be able to describe. Allow, please allow this guy. Okay, so coder infantry or um, describe ECS code deploy. Right, so let's create the policy. Ta-dang. So it's now created. So let's recreate the deployment group. Deployment controller. What's this? Code deployment ECS service must be configured for a code deploy controller. How do I do that? So let's go to the ECS service. ECS. Go to the cluster. Mm, 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 mm. Go to the cluster, go to the service, deployments. Okay. Um, how do I set this up? Events. View pipeline. Okay, let's go to the task definition. Is there any setting here for create a new revision? Deployments. Is there any deployments here that we miss? Logging, code collection, contain health check, Docker configuration, Docker label, container, storage, monitoring. Nope. So how do we do that? Deployment groups ECS service must be configured for a code deployed. Okay, so let's try to find what that means. If you are using CodeDeploy, your ECS service has to be defined so that it uses blue-green deployments rather than rolling updates. Deployment type. So where is it? How do I do that? Choose a deployment for the service. Okay, so can we create a new one? Fargate deployment service. Test definition. Service. Service name. Deployment options. Rolling. Select a deployment controller for this type. So it's only rolling updates. Select this type. Why is it only rolling update? Info. Service type. Replica. Task. Desired task. 4, 5. Deployment option. So I only got rolling updates. So this is the create service, right? Deployment configuration. Does it have to do with um, your task definition? So let's try to create another task definition. Coder infantry task def 2 Fargate. How about if we select this one, container, logging, no, health check, container timeout, Docker configuration, sources, add container, storage, monitoring. No, there's no other options. Um, yeah, no. Right, so create a new service. Let's type Fargate deployment. So on here, service to deployment option. Selected ECS service only support rolling update. Rolling update, yeah. So on Amazon ECS deployment type determines the deployment strategy. There are three deployment types. If you can view with CodeDeploy, I don't have why I don't have this option. Why? Or maybe we go to our service, to the service, to the IAM rule. Okay, so let's try. Go to our IAM and then find the CodeDeploy and then, oh, is it service? Or maybe this the rule, the EC, yeah. Find the ECS rule. I think this one, task execution rule. Right, so in our task, ECS task execution rule, alright, let's go to our ECS to make sure. Alright. Because we don't have we only have rolling update. So in our cluster service, create a service. Okay, so I believe the rule is defined here in the task diff. Okay, let's create a new revision. The task rule, this is the ECS task execution rule. So this is the one that we want to update. We want to add code deploy. Yeah, we want to code deploy all code deploy. Can we add that? um, EC coder infantry code deploy permissions. Right, so let's create that. So now we got that added. And then let's reload this. Okay, so in our deployment group, let's try again. Coder infantry deployment group. Service is this one. Cluster is JX cluster. Service is this service. Load balancer is this load balancer. This is the port listener. Target group. Target group. Okay, so let's create. ECS must be configured. Yeah, because so we'll create a. Let's go back to our services here. Let's create a new service. This one. This is using the test diff coder infantry service 2 replica desired development option. Yeah, this is still grayed out. Rolling update is always grayed out, and this is blocking us from creating a deployment group. And we're running out of time. We are already 1 hour. We're more than an hour to our on. So let's ask the inner why can't ECS service deployment only hmm. So how about we change this instead of capacity provider, or where is it? Go to lunch type, Fargate, service, so on. Yeah, we can change this. How can we change this? Select a deployment controller type for how to enable more controller service. ECS service. Can we add more permission? ECS controller. Nope. How about deploy? Code deploy command secure controller. Code deploy. Haven't did we just we already gave it code deploy permissions, right? Maybe we need to, instead of Fargate, um, how about we set you don't have any indices in the register your cluster to run. Yeah, maybe because we are in Fargate, that's why Fargate only supports rolling updates. Updates. Support privilege supported. Fargate. It was Fargate. Uh, ECS scheduler, code deploy. Damn. Okay, so here. How do I configure ECS service for a code deploy deployment controller? When I try to create deployment group, it gives this error, right? So the answer is the error you're seeing is because the ECS service must be configured to use CodeDeploy as the deployment controller. This configuration is not done in the ECS service console, but rather when you're creating or updating an ECS service via okay. If you're okay, so here are the steps you can follow. Update the ECS service to use CodeDeploy as the development controller. You can do this through AWS CLI command to update the ECS service would look like this. Uh, okay, let's do this. Okay. Go deploy, update service, my service. So what is our service? We want to update the service. We don't want to create a new service. This is the service that we want to update. That one, and then the cluster is JX cluster deployment. Alright, so let's try this. Boys and girls, although no, ready to stop, ready to go. AWS option controller hot usage. What? AWS ECS. What's the issue? AWS ECS. There's no ECS. ECR. ECS, right? There's an ECS. Unknown options deployment. Okay, so what is the error here? Unknown options deployment controller. Oh, how do we do that? It's wrong, still wrong. ACL, so this the command to update ECS update service cluster. Update service. Update service. Is there an update service? Yep. AWS ECS update service help. Update service, then um, what's the deployment configure deployment controller? Deployment controller. There's no deployment controller. Is there any type? Task definition, deployment configuration. Uh, okay, so ECS update service coder infantry service cluster is JX cluster deployment configuration. Is that right? Deployment configuration. Where's the controller? How do I set up the controller? Hmm. Deployment controller should be CodeDeploy. How do we update this? So deployment controller. Where is this thing? Deployments. So update service. Update. How do I update the deployment controller? Let's go back um, to our cluster. Or yeah, let's go back to our cluster. Let's see the deployments. Deployment type is ECS. How do we change this? Change deployment type ECS service. Update the service. Update the deployment type. Deployment failure. Service deployment for deployment configuration. Service type replica. Desired minimum maximum requirement. Hmm. How to update the deployment controller? Deployment configuration. Deployment configuration. Okay, so deployment controller. So right. So okay. So let's do this again. Go back here. So this one. Oh, we just want to execute this like that, and then let's try that. Deployment controller is unknown. Deployment configuration. So this is the deployment configuration, and it changed. Says circuit breaker is equals to. So maybe we also um yeah, put that in a string. So like that. Um, yeah, we want to copy all of this, and let's zoom this out because this is very important. So we want to also do it like that, deployment type. And then this one, just delete all of this. Thinking about okay, so let's try that. Nope. Let's try the type. Type is equals like that. Yeah, just type is just equals to deployment controller. Deployment controller. Deployment configuration. Deployment controller. All like about, all like about. Coder infantry service. Yeah, coder infantry service, GX cluster, deployment type, configuration, deployments, ARN events, update service, deployment controller. Update service. Deployment configuration. There's nothing to talk about controller in here. So can we put it in the deployment configuration like this? Then remove that deployment, and then type is CodeDeploy. Can we do that instead? Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. For services using an external deployment controller, you can update only the desired count tasks from placements, constraints, and services strategies. Health checks, risk, enable ECS. How do we set the blue-green update service? So can we stop this? Update cluster metrics. This one, update Service is replica. Service type is replica. Okay, so coder infantry task def 2. So in this one, select the launch type as ECS, VPC. This one. Then this one is still this is our ECR. Container details. This one. So this one is using the EC2. And then in our clusters, go to clusters. Then update the service to use the EC2 instead of Fargate. Use the task def 2. Yeah, this one, the service type is still replica. Let's create another task def. Task definition, coder infantry task def 3. Infrastructure requirement. This one, network, CPU task rule. This one, container. Nothing here, man. Replica. Move like a ba 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 da 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 da. You don't have any instance EC2 instances registered. What? To your cluster. Yeah, it's the rolling update is always turned off, man. The deployment type. Deployment type you choose determines the deployment EC2 you controls the rolling update. And learn more. Deployment type, huh? Deployment type you choose determine the deployment type you choose determines both the deployment controller that your service uses and the configuration parameters that determine the ordering and stopping. You choose both. The Amazon EC2 controls the rolling update deployment type. This deployment type involves the service scheduler replacing the current running version. You can control the number of tasks that the service scheduler adds or removes from the service during the rolling update by adjusting the minimum and deployment type. How do I do a blue-green EC2, man? EC deployment type, rolling update, blue-green with CodeDeploy. Yeah. So that's it, man. Yeah, we're now almost 2 hours. I'll have to go back to my masters to teach me because I don't know. All right. See you on the next video. Bye. Hello.